resurrection of the dead. We believe that the 20 million black people in America in the last days will be taught the truth. The trumpet of truth will sound in your ear. And it's being sounded today, the trumpet of truth. And this truth strikes your ear and strikes your heart. It'll open your eyes. It'll open your ear. It'll make you stand up. It'll do the same thing for you that truth did for the dry bones in the valley. Because the picture of dry bones in the valley is talking about you. The picture of Lazarus laying dead 4 days is talking about you. You are Lazarus. You are the dry bones. You are the prodigal son. You are the lost sheep. You are the people about whom the Bible is speaking who will stand up in the last day when the trumpet is sounded. Black people are waking up. Black people are standing up. Black people are rising up and they're throwing back. We believe we are the people of God's choice. That's what we believe. We believe we're the chosen people. We don't believe Jews are the chosen people. We don't believe Jews are the ones going to the promised land. We don't think Jews are a part of God. No, Jews are nothing but another part of that same race of devils that come out of Europe. They didn't even come out of the Holy Land. They come out of the caves of Europe. Furthermore, we believe we are the people of God's choice. As it is written that God would choose the rejected and despised. And we can find no other person fitting this description in these last days more than the so-called Negroes in America. We believe in the resurrection of the righteous. We believe in the judgment. We believe this first judgment will take place as God revealed right here in America. The judgment will take place in America. The resurrection will take place in America. The judgment will take place in America. The separation will take place in America. And the destruction will take place in America. Doom will take place in America. Doomsday will take place right here. This is the place the Bible is talking about. When the Bible mentions Babylon, it means America. When the Bible mentions Sodom and Gomorrah, that's America. When the Bible mentions Egypt, that's America. This is Rome. This is Babylon. This is that wicked kingdom that God is going to come and set flame to in the last day. And you're living in that day right now. And I'm glad.
Shalom. Happy Sabbath day to all ye people here in the Fulton Mall. Happy Sabbath day. The Sabbath day being the fourth commandment of the 10 Commandments. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Yahweh says that if you forget the Sabbath day and to keep it holy, that you will be cut off from your people. So, what is it that is to be done on the Sabbath day? Ye are not to buy or sell on the Sabbath day, the day that is supposed to be for the Lord God and for no other. Ye are not supposed to buy or sell. Ye are not supposed to do any work on the Sabbath day. And the Sabbath day is Saturday. From Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. It's a Sabbath day, and it's a holy day of rest and communion with the Lord. O house of Israel, O blacks, Mexicans, and Native Americans, ye are the children of Israel, the races that represent the children of Jacob. And the Sabbath day is your holy day unto the Lord. And those who refuse to keep the Sabbath day will in fact be cut off from the Lord. The Sabbath day is not Sunday. Sunday is a pagan day of worship of the sun. And it is the beginning of the week, not the end of the week. The last day of the week is Saturday, starting on Friday sundown and ending on Saturday sundown. That is your Sabbath day. And it is an important day unto the Lord. This message is for those out there who are struggling. This message is for those out there who are impoverished. This message is for those out there who are at the bottom of this system in America. This message is not to the social elite. This message is not for the rich. This message is not for the well-off or the wealthy or the well-fed. This message is for the hungry and the thirsty in this country and the needy that has been under the boot and has been out of the sight of the population of America. This message is for you, the children of Israel. You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, pay attention to the word of the Lord. It has sought you out this Saturday, this Sabbath day, this holy day. It has sought you out amongst your poverty and amongst your pain and suffering. Which one of you Negroes in this country know that ye are of the tribe of Judah, the Lion of Israel? Which one of you know that ye are of the tribe of Judah and are a precious inheritance unto the Lord? Which one of ye know that Deuteronomy 28 of this Bible tells you about your lineage and your history and why you are in poverty today? And if you are so well learned, and if you know, why are ye not on the street corners teaching and waking up your brethren and letting them know who they are and where they come from and what the God in heaven, the creator of all, the most high God, Yahweh, wants of them in these latter days? Everybody talks about the end of the world, but I will tell you what is written, how it will begin again, and how the end will in fact come to be. The end will be ready to begin when the children of Yahweh, the nation of Israel, the children, the inheritance of the Most High, recognize their sins, turn from their sins, repent of the sins of them and their fathers, and follow God's laws, statutes, and commandments, and return to the Most High in righteousness. In righteousness. God didn't say that he was going to just hand everything to you, give you everything. All you have to do is say Jesus is Lord and sit at your home or your couch and not follow his commandments and he would still lay out the red carpet for you. He expects you to do something. Do not the demons know that Yahshua HaMashiach is God? Do not they tremble on the sight and the hearing of his name? And yet they are still bound for hell. Saying that Yahshua is God is not enough. God wants more from you than just a recognition verbally that he is the God of all. It takes more than your words in order to show yourself approved and do the will of the Most High. Love is not just words, but in obedience to God's laws, statutes, and commandments do you show yourself to be a lover of the Most High. Do you show yourself to be a child of the Most High? O house of Israel, the law of Moses was given unto you, no other nation. You blacks, you Hispanics, you Native Americans, make no mistake, I am talking to you. You poor, you fatherless, you widows, you downtrodden, the least of this society, I am talking to you. For some of you, for most of you, you are perishing. You are perishing in this society that teaches you that all you have to do is just say a few words, cross your chest, continue to sin and do whatever you want, and that God has guaranteed a heaven for you, a refuge for you. Ye who are not worthy and will not get what is sold and told to you. The only way that you can inherit the kingdom of heaven and the inheritance that God has for you is if you are one of the children of Israel and you follow God's laws, statutes, and commandments and return unto him in righteousness. In righteousness. Because the theology and the belief that you can do what you want in this world and all you have to do is cross your chest, say a little mantra, and you're good, is the theology of demons and will bring you straight to the gates of hell, and has done so with so many generations. But for those of you who are not black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, I will even tell you how you can enter into the kingdom of heaven. The only way for you to enter into the kingdom of heaven is at the heels of the very Israelites that you hold on the bottom today. That's the only way. At their heels. And in servitude unto all of their needs. And under their authority, is it not written that the whole world will be blessed through the nation of Israel? Well, if the whole world's going to be blessed through the nation of Israel, who are the Israelites? You think you'd want to know. And if ye think that ye are already blessed of the nation of Israel, that too is not 100% correct. For even though we have slaves in this country, and even though we have built these buildings, and even though we have raised your children and taken care of all of your needs, ye have been not blessed. But a curse has been stored up for you, or slave masters. that continually rob and steal from us and keep us on the bottom and want us to be on the bottom. And ye may say, how have ye stolen from us? I'll get to that. That's the easy question. And yet still, ye wonder why Yahweh said that the other nations will be blessed through the nation of Israel. I will explain how you will be blessed through the nation of Israel, because you have not been blessed thus far. You have been storing up a curse and a strong rebuke from the Most High because of your treatment of his people, because of your treatment of the nation of Israel, the blacks, the Hispanics, and the Native Americans. And your punishment for that treatment of his people is death and destruction and hellfire, which gets me back to what I was saying about how you're really not blessed from the nation of Israel. Because even though we built these roads for you, even though we built this country from you, even though you still must continually, no reparations was given to the slaves that made this country rich with their free labor. No reparations to the slaves that made this country prosperous. Not at all. Nor will any be given, because it was written that such would not be the case. It was written over 2,000 years ago. So don't think that it was your idea not to give the slaves their reparations. That wasn't your idea. That was written. God said that, and he takes credit for that. All you have to do to check what I'm saying is read Deuteronomy 28. And no, I will not read it for you. It is not of the man of God, it is not our mandate to put you on our neck and throw you into the kingdom of God. Every man and woman and child must stand for their own sins and for the sins of their forefathers. And God requires of you and you and you to do some research, to read his book and understand, to know the truth, and the truth to set you free, even for the other nations. So ye has not been blessed. In reality, ye have stored up wrath that God will levy out to you with great fire and brimstone in the latter days, in the end, which we are in the day of this nation. So then, how will you be blessed? God is ready to destroy this kingdom. The reign of the Gentile, which has been the other nations, and the Edomites, is coming to an end. And when that happens, which will happen after God's people, the Israelites, the ones that God spoke of when he said the other nations will be blessed through, after his people have turned back to him and follow his laws, statutes, and commandments, those outlined in the Bible, and have repented of their sins and the sins of their forefathers, then it shall begin. And the only way that the other nations, which heaven was not made for, which eternity was not promised, the only way for them to then get on the boat that leadeth unto eternity will be to cleave at the heels of the Israelites as their bondmen and bondwomen, as their slaves. So if you thought that being the son of a slave, being the daughter of a slave, being the grandson of a slave, being the granddaughter of the slaves in this country was a badge of shame, I got some news for you. It's a badge of honor. It's a badge of honor. Because this is the last country prophesied that the Israelites will be in bondage to. This is the last place of bondage. It's the end for us. And it's the beginning for you all. And the bondage that will happen for you will be one that will be for 1,000 years. And only those who can navigate their way through that and please their masters, which will be the Israelites, will be the only ones that will be saved. Know the truth, and it shall set you free. And you may say to me, well, what kind of truth is that? You may say, what kind of preaching is that? All we have to look forward to, us other nations, is to be slaves to the Israelites? How is that going to set us free? I will tell you, because the end of this world is inevitable. You can't change that. It's coming down the pike even today. With the fall of the dollar, with the militarization of the police force, with World War III looming, nothing's gonna be left. Fukushima and radiation in the waterways, evaporating, going into the air, turning into rain, coming onto the ground, going through the food system, and entering into your bodies when you eat your shrimp, and when you eat your fish, and when you eat your seafood. It's inedible. But the real question that's going to be on your mind when the evidence of this is undeniable to you, what the real question is, well, how do we get on the train for eternity when Yahshua comes? That's going to be the real question for you. And when it's so noticeable, and when the world recognizes it, and when there's no more debating it, it's going to be too late. Because there's going to not be millions, there's going to be billions trying to get on that train. Now I can only speak for myself, but I'm just one man, and I only have a limited space for my bondmen and my slaves in the new kingdom. I only have a limited space, and when that is reached, well, the rest of you are just going to have to seek someone else, or you're going to be destroyed. Because the only way you're going to be saved is at the heels of the Israelites. And that's going to be your blessing. That's how the other nations are going to be blessed, through the Israelites. For those who bury their pride and come with their face on the ground, waddling like a crab, eating a little dirt, to get the notice of the only people on this earth that is the inheritance, prophesied inheritance of the Most High. The Israelites were the one the world was built for, and the Israelites will be the one to repopulate it after the bombs drop. Believe it. And if you other nations don't understand it, then the first ones that do will fill up those spots. And then when you finally have no other choice but to recognize it, it'll be too late. Because we're gonna be out of here, brother. We're gonna be out of here. God says he will gather his children like a hen and bring them together and put them in their own land. I'm not buying an airplane ticket. I'm not asking and petitioning the UN. I'm not petitioning Jerusalem for a visa, because I know that the God in heaven has covered the tab. He's covered it. So ye can look at what I'm saying, and ye can hear, and ye can scoff, and ye can mock, and ye, because the evidence of which is right before your face. You're blinded, you're veiled You can't see the writing on the wall. But when it happens, it's going to be those that remember and move early that will be saved. Because once God pulls his people out of here, time's up. And for those of you who think that being an Israelite is like being a Christian, you're wrong. You're wrong. Because as a Christian, all you got to say is that Jesus Christ is Lord, say that he died on the third day and rose from the dead, and that's enough for you to be saved. Despite how you live, despite whether you actually read this book, despite whether you actually do God's law, statutes, and commandments. That's what it's like to be a Christian. Early Christians was the ones that brought the only true Israelites in this country over on the ships, in slave ships with bondage, while they still believed that they were going to heaven. To be a Christian is to be a hypocrite. So I'm not coming out here to convert people to being an Israelite, because to be an Israelite, you have to be born an Israelite. It has to be in your blood. You have to have one of the nations of Israel in your spirit that the Bible describes. And those are the Native Americans, the Negroes in this country, the Mexicans. They are the 12 tribes of Israel, more or less. How do I know who's an Israelite? If you read Deuteronomy 28 of the Bible, you will see prophecies that only the Israelites can and has fulfilled. So if your nation doesn't fulfill the prophecy, then odds are you're not one of us. And it's just that simple. Yahshua HaMashiach, you Gentiles know as Jesus Christ, but his name was Yahshua HaMashiach. He died for his people. Who is his people? Well, he was born in the house of Judah. So Yahshua was one of the 12 tribes of Israel. His people are the 12 tribes of Israel. Now let's talk about Judah for a second. Judah, known to you Gentiles as Judah, but the real name is Judah, okay, is the so-called Negroes in this country, as per Deuteronomy 28, when they said that they will be sent across the world in slave ships because of not honoring the covenant and breaking the laws. That they would be slaves, that they would be on the bottom, that they would be the scourge of the other nations, that the other nations would shake their heads down. That's what was written. And the only one who fits that description, and so many more, is the so-called Negroes in this country, who came here on slave ships, who was bonded, who our parents were raped, our fathers were castrated, our sisters were raped, our little brothers were raped, and spread around this country. So for you Negroes who are watching this, and who are listening to the sound of my voice, that Eve woman, that African-American woman, that Negro woman that you're talking to, you just might be related to her in some way, shape, or form. Probably. But you wouldn't know who your family was, because your family was intentionally ripped from you. And that's the truth. So, in summary of my point about how to make it into the kingdom of heaven, in summary of my point at least, about how the earth is going to be blessed by the Israelites, the way the nations are going to be blessed by the Israelites are by, in the latter days, coming to Israel as their slaves and their bondwomen. Because Everybody's going to get a piece of slavery if they have any idea or desire to go to heaven. And you may say, I still don't get it. What kind of God would ask that of somebody? And then I'm going to tell you the truth. Do you think that you're free? Do you really think that you're free? Right? That's what they tell you in America, right? That you're free. Let me ask you a question, Americans. Do you have the capacity to even print your own money? Huh? You can't even have control over your own finances, so how can you even consider yourself free? You don't even have control over your own mailing system, so how can you be free? You ain't even got control over your own media. The rich elites, the Illuminati, they control your mainstream media, so how can you be free? No, know the truth. You're a slave no matter whether you like it or not. The only question is, who's going to be your slave master? God said, Jesus and Yahshua said that no man can serve two masters. You either love the one and despise the other, but you can't love them both. And he didn't tell you that you yourself was a master. So he's telling you that whether you know it or not, you're a slave, but who you gonna be a slave to? So I ask you again, do you think you're really free? Because if you're free, then Yahshua's a liar. Because he told you that you're a slave and you can only serve one of two masters. And you must hate the other. And that's it. There's no third choice. You got no kingdom of your own. And if you're lukewarm, he's gonna spit you out. So don't be telling me about how the ministry of slavery is so egregious to you. And how could God require that you be a slave in order to make it to heaven? Because that, in fact, is the prerequisite to get it in. The Israelites have already been slaves. Yahshua HaMashiach died on the cross. God didn't give his own son a free pass. He didn't give his own son an easy way to get his inheritance. So what makes you think that he's going to give you a free pass? That he's going to give you an easy way? And if you think that having to wait a month instead of 2 weeks to get your paycheck is going through in order to get to the kingdom of heaven, then you're just as deceived as the dang man thinking he's a woman. You're just as crazy as the dang woman or man having sex with an animal. And you will not make it to the kingdom of heaven. I'm not condemning you, I'm just telling you the truth. And it's high time the people of God stand up and do just that. The ministry of truth. The best way to heaven is through slavery, poverty, pain and suffering on this world, but redemption, love and forgiveness in the next. You Negroes, you Mexicans, you Native Americans, this message is for you. This ministry the kingdom of heaven, the promise, the inheritance for Jacob is for you. On this Sabbath day, let the word of the Lord ring out. You would be wise to sit and listen to the word of the Lord. Is it not one of his commandments to remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy? On the Sabbath day, you're required not to buy or sell. You're required not to do any work. You're required to give that day to the Lord. And yet, here we are in Fulton Mall or anywhere else in the world on this day, and you are buying and you are selling and you're doing the very thing that Yahweh told you not to do. So we shall teach you on the street corners, and we shall cry out on the street corners, like it is written, like it is written. Let me tell you, O house of Israel, O keepers of the promise, how you can inherit that promise from the Most High, so that ye would know. But let me also tell you the differences between the true gospel and that which you are accustomed to, the lies which you are accustomed to in Christianity. Christianity teaches you that you can do what you want to do, that you no longer have to obey God's commandments, statutes, and laws, that you only have to pray and repeat after some pastor, some Edomite, and that you will be saved. But if the very person praying for you don't follow God's laws, statutes, and commandments, dishonors his holy day of the Sabbath, doesn't keep his feast days, doesn't honor the Lord in deed and word, then his prayers for you is worthless. Worthless. That's truth. To be an Israelite is to be one of the children of the Most High, one of the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel. This Bible is not a religion. It is a testimony, a history book of its people, the 12 tribes of Israel, where they've gone and what they've done and the captivities that they've had and been through, the trials and the tribulations and the promises that Yahweh gave them so that they would know that they are his inheritance, his beloved, the apple of his eye, the nation he chose above all nations of the earth. That is what is written. This book is not a religion. Christianity is a religion made by the very Gentiles that brought the people of Israel, the true Israelites, to this country in chains. It is not based on the prophecies in this book. It is not based on the words that are written in this book. It is based on some Gentile's interpretation of what he knows to be is your history books. If you ask a Negro in this country where they come from, who their people, what are the travels of their forefathers, they would not know. Because it was written in Deuteronomy 28 that they would be blind in the noontime, that they would be confused, that they would not remember God's statutes, laws, and commandments, that they would serve other gods, that God would hide his face from them. Because they refused to honor those laws, statutes, and commandments, and they broke his covenant. And they break it today. Those are the ones that are the true Israelites, the ones who not only have the promises, but also fulfill all of the curses. So that in the latter days, you would understand and know who you are. For you would have no knowledge of who you are from the so-called Edomite, the white man, Christianity, because they are not in the business of teaching you the truth. Because an informed public is a dangerous one. Because this book is not just a book of words, but of power and authority, both of which they have no desire for the children of Israel to possess. They are hypocrites and liars. I'm not here trying to convert you. That's the Christian way. To get you to adhere to their doctrines, they took a sword and a cross, and if you accept it, they let you live. And if you refuse to believe in their white Jesus, to believe in their perversion of the Bible, they would kill you with the sword. That was the theory and theology behind their doctrine. That's historical fact. The Roman Catholic Church has historically created more atrocities than any other religion. Christianity, which is really just a religion to help keep the real people of God, the Israelites, in bondage and in slavery with a smile. With a smile. To give them a belief, a thought that they're free when they're still in bondage. Because if this was really the truth, they would be teaching the people to consciousness that is the only way to be able to ask for forgiveness for your sins and the sins of your father. You must have your garments clean. You cannot be wallowing in filth, yet try to touch the very sacred things of the Most High with your dirty hands and think that he won't be offended. He has been. O children of Israel, why am I talking about Christianity? Why am I, and Catholicism? Why am I not talking about, say, Muslim or Buddhist or the other religions? God said it is written that each man has a portion of faith, a mustard seed of faith. I don't have to talk to you about those other religions. There's already something stirring in your spirit that already tells you that they're bogus. The only real good deception they use against our people is deceptions that loosely on this book. Because you Israelites have internal knowledge that this book, even though you don't realize it, is your history. And a real good deception needs just a little bit of truth to sell it so that you would believe it. While instead of that, setting you free because it's based and forged as a lie, it leads you straight to the gates of hell. Yahweh has decreed, it is written, that your teachers would be on the street corners in the latter days, that you would see them crying out. Why didn't he say that your teachers were going to be in the churches? Because the churches have lied to you. They have deceived you. They won't tell you the hard truth because they told you the hard truth. That not enter into the kingdom of heaven and get the full inheritance that God has only given to the Israelites. If they told you the truth, then you wouldn't pay your tithes and offerings. If they told you the truth, you wouldn't give them your paychecks. If they told you the truth, they wouldn't be getting rich off of you and sending you to hell with their lies every single Sunday. That's why they don't tell you the truth. Because they're using you. They're pimping you. They're taking from you and giving you nothing.
One day Jesus will come again.
Jesus shall return again. What will you say to him on that glorious day to him? Jesus, no man knows the hour or the day or the minute, but he's coming.
One day Jesus shall come again.
He shall come again, I tell you.
What shall
you say? What will you be doing, brothers and sisters, on that glorious day? Holy. He's coming. No one knows the day, but he's coming.
Jesus, I love you forever and forever. I shall follow you until the end of time. With this ring I offer you my love. You shall be my Lord and shall have my love. And no matter what, I shall remain by your side. For as it was, it shall be again in the garden land. When you walk with man, I shall serve you, Lord, and I will love